Okay, hi guys and girls. So today we're going to be talking about buying stuff on eBay auctions and how to get them as cheaply as possible. And there are two features of the eBay system that we need to look at in order to get them as cheaply as possible. And if we look at this carefully, we can save a lot of money. The first thing to notice is that different people selling the same item will get different amounts for it. So someone might be selling, say, a used PlayStation 3 with exactly the same games and exactly the same controllers, and actually the prices can be really different when everything else is pretty much the same. They've been on the same amount of time, they end on the same day, they're described pretty much equally, but one will get £200 and the other one will get 270, and that's a really big deal if you're the buyer. You want to be in there getting the £200 one. The problem is that these really good deals will come up maybe 1 in 7 or 1 in 8 of every listings. So in an ideal world, you'd be able to sit there and just keep bidding. You'd have seen a historic low price that might be repeated, and you ideally want to just keep coming back and bidding on that low amount, going on, oh, I'll only bid 210, oh well, that one's gone to 270, oh, I'll wait for the next one, bid 210, oh, it's gone for 250. So you never get it, and the amount of time you need to spend being there to try and snipe that one and bid on all these different auctions is really prohibitive. The other feature of the eBay system is called the eBay proxy bid system, which is just the way in which your bid works with other people. So if someone puts something on at £10 and you go on and bid £80, that doesn't mean you'll necessarily pay £80 for it. It means that you'll only pay £10 unless someone else comes along and bids up to say 30, 40, 50, up to your £80. If they bid 85, then you've been beaten. So what that creates is a really important system where you do much better if you bid later. In the earlier example, if you've come in, for example, for your PlayStation at £200 at the very start, then everyone can see what you've bid and they'll want it and they'll want to compete with you, and they know that they can come in. You've maybe come in the last minute with a £200 bid, they come in the last 10 seconds and bid 230, and that's enough to beat you. So the question is, can we overcome these two problems and hopefully in one go? And the answer is yes, we can. What we need to do is find a way of automating our bidding so that we don't even have to be there, because there'll be a lot of bids that we want to put in at a low amount. If we win one, that's fine, and we just pick that one up. And it'll also save those many heart attacks you get when you're sitting there in the last 10 seconds trying to work out what to bid, sometimes bidding more than you wanted, and just giving up really, and that's why you end up bidding the 280 for the PlayStation, because it's like, oh, I can't be bothered waiting for another week. And the other thing you can achieve by bidding in an automated way is that you are able to set the software up so that it bids for you in the last few seconds, in the last maybe 3 or 4 seconds, and that means that no one has time to react to your bid. If you've got in and become the highest bidder, they'd expect to have time normally to adjust, and they're all sitting there on their computers, and it's down to the last 3 seconds, and boom, you come in and you've bid £210, and boom, and they're no longer able to react and bring it up to 280. So is there a system, that's the question, that allows us to do that? So we look at the basic process just quickly here of bidding on something on eBay. So let's see what we have. We've got a bunch of watches here, and this is one I was interested in. So we use the normal system and we go in, and it's a little bit time going left. eBay has this nice countdown clock. It's a lot better than it used to be, and we just put in our amount. I'm prepared to bid, say, £2.40, and then we place our bid, and everything should be okay. Are we going to win? And what happens? No, we've been outbid straight away, and we could have waited a bit longer or gone in for a bit more, but see, it tells us we've been outbid, and this is the system we go into. So it would have been better to bid maybe a little bit more or to bid on other watches. But it's all very time consuming, and it's all a bit disappointing when we lose. There's our problem saying you've been outbid, increase maximum bid. It all becomes a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, if you're trying to pick up an item for cheap and grab one of these bargains that circulate, maybe 1 in 6 or 7 times. It'll be about 30 or 40% less than the normal price for these items. So let's find another item and see if we can find a better way of bidding for it. So we go back up to the top and we're looking for new things listed. These are all watches, cheap watches that I've found that are kind of under £3. So we look for the newly listed ones. You don't have to do it this way. This is just my way of getting hold of a listing that we want, because what we're after is the item number of the item. So this could be you bidding on whatever, a pair of shoes, a house, a car, anything. So we've clicked this. It's a fairly nice looking watch, and it's in Glasgow. So we scroll down to here, to just below where it tells you about the returns and everything, and then on the right hand side you see it says eBay item number. So we want to cut that or copy it. So we just double click it and then right click and then hit copy, and that's it copied into the computer's memory, into what's called clipboard. And then we go into a site called MYIBIDDER.com. MYIBIDDER.com. This isn't spam, this is just by far the best site for this. And you log in, you don't set up an account, you just log in. This is my name, Lightning Value, and you put in your username and password. And you have to give them your username and password, but it's a very old, very reputable site, so it's no big deal, and you don't get into trouble with eBay. And then you click on profile there, and you go down. It's important that you change the default snipe time to 4 seconds, because it's normally 10, and anyone else using it will, see what it says there, configuration default snipe time is 4 seconds. Anyone else using it will normally have like 10, and if you put in 4, then it's not really risky and you'll get it better. So you paste in your number there into item ID. See, we found our item number. We just go down and check where that was. So there, we've pasted it in. We paste that into that box, item ID, and then we put in our maximum bid, £2.99, and then we hit add item, and that's it. That's pretty much all we do, and it tells us here what the item is, and we can actually cancel it if we want. Tells us what the current bid is in the system and how much we were prepared to bid up to, and it'll go green if it means you've eventually won it. And this system is now totally automatic. You will do nothing, and it will use your username and password, and it'll log in for you into eBay, and it will just place that bid. Your computer doesn't need to be on. You don't need to be at your computer. Some of these sniping programs do require you to be there at the computer. They're a real kind of pain in the neck, because what if your router goes down? Boom, you've lost out. Or what if your computer is busy doing something else, like streaming music or YouTube videos? It won't have the bandwidth it needs to place the bid. So this way, by far the best way, you can just go ahead and list all these items you want. You can just keep putting it in for maybe 8 different watches until you get one that is a really, really big steal. And there are also ways of setting it up so that it'll only bid on the other ones if it knows that you haven't won the first one. So say you only want to win, say, 1 LED monitor, like we have there, you could put in 8 monitors and it'll be in a group, and it'll say, I'll only bid for that if I haven't won the others, and we'll show you how to do that in the next video. But there's the website. It's not my website, it's got nothing to do with it, I just use it, but it's the one I definitely recommend because it's very old, very reputable, they've never messed around with anyone's data. eBay is okay with it, and the only reason why they take your username and password is so that they can act on your behalf. They'd never use it to buy anything on your behalf or anything. They're way too big and way too old for that. But given what they provide, it's well worth getting and well worth using that website, MYIBIDDER.com, and use that for sniping, and that'll save you a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of heartache in bidding for items on eBay. And that's the way you can mostly get good bargains, maybe 30% off, and to be honest, a lot of the time you get stuff much cheaper, like maybe 10%, 20% of what it should normally get, because it took you no effort at all. It would take everyone else time to sit there and bid. but the item just wasn't maybe noticed enough, or it was ending on a really bad time, like 2 a.m. on a Monday morning, and there's no one there, and the guy was in Australia or something, and you weren't there either. You were in bed sleeping, but this system was bidding for you. And that's the way I've done it loads, especially in the last month. I've got a lot of things really cheaply. So that's what to do. Just get the item number from the listing, put it into MYIBIDDER.com after you've logged in with your username and password, put in the maximum bid, the most you're prepared to pay, and it'll make that bid for you in the last 4 seconds, and you'll save a ton of money. Good luck. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.